Hello, Cancer. Welcome and welcome back. I hope you guys are doing extremely well. Thank you for being here, okay? We're going to get into your November 2025 reading. I forgot to say this during Scorpio's reading, but I'm doing all the water signs on the same day. So this is Saturday, November 1st, 2025, 6:56 p.m. for you, Cancer. I did Scorpio's a little earlier. Okay, it was about maybe 40 minutes or so ago. So anyway, I just felt like I had to say that for some reason. Time is possibly significant, but we're going to get into it for you guys to see what you need to focus on most, to see what spirit wants you to know most about November. Okay. Whenever you see this, it may be beneficial for you to take a look at it and just evaluate whether or not there's anything here that you could benefit from. Okay. But I do want to say this. Okay. Disclaimer. First of all, there's a whole list of disclaimers in the description box. But most importantly, please use your own intuition. Don't bring anything into your life that doesn't belong when it comes to these messages. Make your own decisions. Oh. Not karmic partner flipping out. What is going? False mask. Karmic partner. Children. Fame. Ooh, juicy. What's going on, Cancer? Okay. There could be a situation where some of you guys. Oh, bitch. Not black magic. It is getting kind of late. Okay. The sun is going down. But just be mindful of the connections in your life, you guys. Somebody may not be who they say they are. Okay. Just pay attention. Keep your head on the swivel, bitch. All right. But anyway, like and subscribe. First of all, please. Taking me up through there. Like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe, you guys. If you want to procure any of my services, I offer several different things other than readings. Check out the link in my description box. Let me know in the comments if it's resonating. Let's see. For Cancer, guardian angels, archangels, spirit guides, and ancestors of the highest vibration, Father, Mother, God. For Cancer in the month of November, what do they need to know about this month? For Cancer spirit, what is the most important message that you want them to know? Solitude. Okay. Some of you may want to go watch the Scorpio reason. Okay. Some of you may need to find a reason for why somebody is isolating from you by watching the Scorpio reading to understand. Some of you also may need to watch the Scorpio reading to understand the importance of isolation, solitude, self-reflection, distance, all those things. Social distancing, I just heard. So just be mindful of people who are around you, coughing, sneezing, all that type of stuff. Make sure you take whatever vitamins that your doctor recommends. All right. Disclaimers below. Do whatever you feel like you need to do to differentiate your energy from the energy and influences of people around you. That's going to be very important for the month of November for you guys. This kind of theme or topic came out a lot in the Scorpio reading. So you may have strong Scorpio placements. You may be a Scorpio rising, moon, maybe even a Scorpio sun, and you have a strong Cancer placement. But you guys, as far as Cancers, came out in the Scorpio reading. Now, I warn you, if you're going to cross watch either the Scorpio reading, or if you're someone who is not a Cancer and you're cross watching Cancer, please do it at your own risk. Do not come for me as the messenger. I have to deliver the messages accurately. And just like I told Scorpio, if a Cancer is getting some type of information that's beneficial and you don't like it because your enemy is a Cancer, I cannot control that. And nor can the good-hearted Cancer people who are here watching their own reading. Okay. I just have to say that as a responsible reader. All right. At the bottom, we have ruin. Good Lord. And research. So you're trying to figure it out. Something has fallen apart. Something has been ruined. And you're trying to figure out why. You got to get to the bottom of it. You got to get down to the nitty gritty of that shit. Because what the fuck? Literally, that's what I'm hearing. So you feel like something has been ruined, Cancer. And in this month of November, in order to figure out what the heck is going on, you are like, nope, nope, nope. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to deal with y'all. I don't want to discuss anything with y'all. I need to light me some sage, incense, or even maybe a fucking blunt and figure out what is going on in this bitch right here. Okay? A lot of you guys could be getting some type of smoke signals. I'm seeing the smoke in Pocahontas in the movie when they and I'm hearing hey ya, hey ya, ya hey ya, ya hey ya. Ooh. Seasons go and seasons come, daddy has the beating drum. That's what I'm hearing. So some of y'all may be Native American when it comes to your origin. You may be an indigenous person in whatever country that you're from. Okay. You may be a group or grouped up with the indigenous people. And you may want to fall back on some of those indigenous heritages that you stem from and the practices that they used to be able to figure out what the fuck is going on. Okay. I feel like that's the title. What the is going on? Okay. Good Lord. Some of you could be researching your heritage as well. Okay. Because you're trying to get to the bottom of the problem. Cutting ties popped out. Y'all's messages is just flowing. The water is strong in you, young Cancer grasshopper. Okay. Cutting ties says freedom, standing up, awaken. You taking the hood off. You taking that mask off. Look at that hood she got on. What the heck? Somebody trying to block your eyes, block your vision. We have suffering in silence, unspoken desires, real feelings, broken dreams. Interesting. That kind of runs congruently with the ruin card, if you know, wouldn't you say? Hopefully, something's gonna, hopefully, this what could be what somebody's saying, could be what you're saying. I just have Freudian slips all the time, y'all. Y'all got to listen to what I be saying. Even if it sounds like I'm just rambling and ranting about something. It be the message. That's how spirit moved through me. Okay? Now, in the future, you could be very hopeful or optimistic or inspired that after all of this, a situation could end up turning out to be successful. Hopefully. Okay? But I don't know. It kind of feels like you guys are dealing with something by yourself, suffering in silence, even possibly feeling like you're alone in a situation because of something that's been broken or ruined or, something that you just didn't have a whole lot of control over. You felt like you didn't have a whole lot of control over, and you maybe hopefully that cutting ties, after going within and figuring out what's going on, you feel hopefully that cutting ties with people who you feel could be the issue may resolve the issue. Okay. There's a lot happening. Okay. There could have been somebody who cut ties with you. And maybe in the month of November, real shit. Cause at the end of the day, I'm going to give you what you need, not what you want. And you will probably thank me for that later, even though it may hurt right now. Some of you may be going within or being asked in the month of November to travel within and do some introspection. Thank you, Spirit. For those who were about to negate what I said, you may be needing to travel within and do some introspection about why you feel like something fell apart, why it was ruined, why maybe there was some type of breakdown in a connection or in maybe your job or a situation, whatever it is that happened that you feel like got ruined. You may need to go within and figure out, what did I do? What part did I play? What role did I have in this breakdown? Even if it was you avoiding the signs or, missing the red flags or, ignoring certain warnings that you received along the way, that would be very beneficial for you. And I told y'all before, I'm a real ass bitch. So at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you if you need to check yourself, right? Not all of you, but some of you, and maybe some of y'all cross watchers too. So don't get too giddy over there. Okay. What else for Cancer spirit? Y'all are funny. We have house. Interesting. So this is a level of protection. This is also safety, security, and stability. This is also a level of the unknown. The moon is in this card up here in the corner. Not being sure what's really going on in this house. And if you're in the house, not being sure what actually is going on outside the gates. There's a level of separation here. I feel like you could be going through a separation of some kind. And now you're kind of being faced with the feelings of what you've experienced and working through them. Okay. That's card number 20. You have occupation 34 at the bottom. Yeah. This could be about a business, could be about your career. Okay. We also have mature woman, card number 6. So 34, 7, 6, 20, maybe 2 as well. Some of you work from home. You're possibly a little bit more mature, more seasoned. All right. You've been cooking a little bit longer. Shout out to you. I need to go check on my crock pot. I just remembered. Anyway, I feel like you guys are very passionate about something that you're working on. And I feel like this is a hobby. This is a skill that you have. This could be something that you do from home or something that you do involving homes, right? But this is a situation where I feel like you're very comfortable with whatever this is. You have a lot of skills, talents, abilities, and you're trying to figure out maybe why it hasn't worked out. What's the disconnect here? And I feel like some of you are going to realize that, maybe you need to stand up to somebody. Maybe you need to speak up to somebody. Maybe you need to cut ties with someone. All right. Maybe there's some things that you haven't faced within yourself that, facing could possibly help you figure out where the disconnect is with whatever you're dealing with. Okay. You could be reading up on something. Some of y'all are, let me see, this card popped out. Genuine love, adoration, crush, affection, loyalty. So what I was about to say is some of you guys could even be trying to research possibly your ancestry, or like you could be at your mom or your dad's house. Like, I feel like it's a mature woman. So it could be your mom, your grandmother, great grandmother. Maybe some of you guys are possibly trying to find out more information about your ancestors, and you're kind of hitting a brick wall or you're hitting a dead end. There could have even been like a flood or a fire or some type of natural disaster that created a loss of information, a loss of documents, a loss of history. And it could be making you feel really like frustrated because you just don't have the information that you need to connect the dots. I feel like that is kind of like the theme of this month, not just with, your ancestry, but connecting the dots. You guys are really working to connect the dots about things that you've been missing. What's been causing a problem? How can you improve? For those of you who are really understanding what the fuck is going on, y'all ain't playing no games. Okay. Yes. And then we have hot and cold, wishy-washy, temperamental, flaky, aloof, detached, and inconsistent. But we have genuine love. That's a contradiction. We also saw karmic partner in the beginning, along with false mask, black magic, children, and whatever else that card was. Can't remember. Run it back. I feel like you guys are getting a yes from spirit this month about what genuine love really looks like versus what people who are wishy-washy, flaky, and hot and cold looks like, right? You're getting a clear indication of doing the right thing, possibly when you have cut off people who don't show up for you in the way that you would like them to, or in the way that you feel you've showed up for them, right? And sometimes, unfortunately, that's what we have to learn. And I think if you've gone through any hardship, or if you've gone through anything that you feel like has been destroyed personally, like any desires that you have personally, anything that you're passionate about personally, and you feel like it's been destroyed because of the connections that you've had around you, people you've had around you, I feel like you're starting to realize how those dots connect and why you're being shown this information. Now, the Empress just flipped out. So could be Taurus, could be Virgo, could be Libra. All right. This could be a mother figure, matriarch. All right. The Emperor came out a lot in the Scorpio reading. So I'm just saying. Okay. At the bottom, we have the Knight of Wands. And at the back, what is this? The Six of Wands. Okay. Leo energy as well. So there could be a fire sign, more than likely a Leo, possibly Sagittarius or Aries, or just someone who's exuding this fiery energy, who is coming towards you, taking some type of action in an effort to have success. Now, whether or not that success extends to you remains to be seen. But that's what someone is doing. Now, this could be you. You could be taking some type of action to follow your North Star, to follow your heart, to regain some type of balance or abundance, or create a removal of blockages so that there can be flow. I do feel like that corresponds with what we've already been talking about. So it's like you guys could be feeling really determined. You could have strong fire in your chart, and you could be very determined to take risks and do things you haven't done before in order to keep the energy flowing and to gain success. Okay. Also, be sure to like the video. That helps with that. Okay. Helps to keep the energy flowing. Now, what is this Empress spirit? Ooh, the Five of Swords. Chow, 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 chow. Ooh-wee. Okay. Five of Swords. Some of y'all are being selfish for yourself. Anyway, maybe it's necessary. Two of Pentacles, Five of Swords, and the Tower. Ooh. Contemplation back and forth. Shucking and jiving, jiving and shucking. Okay. That didn't work. All right. So if you put aside your best interests, your, morals, your ethics, your personal beliefs to please or appease someone else, Cancer, I feel like that kind of backfired on you. And I'm gonna be real with you, because it feels like something wasn't built on a strong foundation. Okay. And the Tower is happening. And now someone feels like they have to kind of compensate or take action to compensate for, the situations that happen where they may have lost something. This could be you, but I'm not sure. Contemplating the energy. Let's see. What else is this Empress? The Nine of Wands. See what I'm saying? Setting a boundary in a way where it's like, it's not to be petty, but it could come off as petty. It's not to be vindictive, but it could come off as vindictive. It's not to be selfish, but unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, it could come off as selfish. Okay? Playing silly games and winning silly prizes. Realizing that you can't be like everybody else. Realizing that you're different. Realizing that you can't be involved in the same thing other people are involved in. Because you end up hurting yourself more than, it benefits you, right? It doesn't mean that you're necessarily coming after another person, but it just means like you can't play the tit for tat games because it ends up hurting you more, and that's not worth it, right? So I just feel like you're tired, honestly, with the Nine of Wands. I just feel like you're ready to set a boundary or finally draw your line in the sand to say like enough is enough in this situation. I feel like you could be exhausted, feeling really burdened or heavily affected by these situations, and it's like you don't deserve this. Like in reality, you deserve better, and you're going to stand on that, and you're not gonna pussyfoot around, okay, for lack of a better word. Ace of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. So I feel like you're motivated to achieve a goal, and I feel like this is deep within you, okay? This feels like it's deep within your core, okay? You could be also really attracted to someone, or someone could be very attractive to you. I kind of feel this very I feel this very aggressive energy. Somebody is being very aggressive when it comes to pressuring you to do something or wanting you to do something or engaging with you in some way, shape, or form. Somebody is like, whatever your stance is in the situation, somebody is pushing really hard to kind of like force you to agree with their stance or force you into acting the way they want you to act, right? So if you want to be single, this person is really heavily pushing for a relationship, and you're like, calm down. If you want to be in a relationship and somebody wants to, have you in a situationship that doesn't really have any boundaries, or it doesn't really have any stipulations, or there's not really a clear expression of loyalty, or there's not really a clear, dynamic in the situation, but they want to force you to accept that when that's not what you want. That's like the energy that I'm feeling, right? So you can be on either side of that situation, but it's like, even if you're attracted to someone, or even if someone is attracted to you and you're single and there's space and opportunity, it don't fucking mean that you're just going to bend your back. Okay. Or at least that's what Spirit's trying to help you to see. Okay. Because it feels like there's an opportunity here that someone is presenting to you that you were maybe weighing the pros and cons of, and you're choosing to possibly do what's best for you. And then all of a sudden, like, somebody comes towards you really strong, and forcefully, because whatever choice that you made that was best for you shocked them and they didn't expect for you to make that choice. And you gotta, with the Empress, it's like, oh, my left ear just went numb and started ringing. God damn. Some of you are just having to, stand on your boundaries and really, it's crazy. They're too aggressive. They're too aggressive. Right? I also feel like you guys may, 7 of Wands. See what I'm saying? I also feel like you guys may be in a situation where, you could be shutting someone out and you have your reasons, but then you're, I don't know. I don't know who's doing what, but I feel like you're shutting someone out and you have your reasons, but you're expecting them to come towards you. That's not realistic. And if someone's doing that to you, that's not realistic. So be mindful, okay? You're protected here. I feel like somebody could unexpectedly like catch you off guard or try to catch you off guard. If anybody's being aggressive with you, like physically, I definitely would handle that accordingly, okay? Notify the proper authorities, whatever it is that you need to do, because you may be suffering with something in silence that other people don't know you're suffering with, that could be very abusive or aggressive. Because I feel just this really aggressive energy where somebody needs to calm the fuck down. Somebody could be very immature, or they could be younger than you. I don't know. I feel like it's necessary for you to protect yourself against people knowing where you live right now and being real with you. Because I feel like you're suffering with something in silence, or suffering with someone's behavior in silence, and a lot of people don't know about it, or they haven't known about it, but it may become more aware to other people what you're dealing with this month, okay? Because this feels like, it's kind of feel like somebody might try to put hands and feet on you or force themselves on you, and that's not cool, okay? I also feel like some of you may want to be mindful of how much you kind of beat yourself up about situations, because it feels like you're setting a boundary because you've been advised by your spirit team to set a boundary, and somebody could be trying to make you feel like bad about it. They could be blowing up on you, arguing with you, okay? What's going on underneath the surface for Cancer in November, Spirit? What is going on? The 5 of Pentacles. So there's some type of lack, insecurity. Could be food insecurity. Could be financial insecurity, financial lack. There could be like, I'm going to be honest with you. Some of you guys have a person who you're trying to offer them help and they just keep refusing it. You got to let motherfuckers be where they are. Okay. Don't take that personally. But you also can't force someone to take your help. Right. You guys give me permission to read for you by clicking on the reading. If you don't like the reading or you don't want to hear what I have to say, remember that you clicked on it. Okay. That's energetically, universally, when it comes to universal law, that's how it works. Right. If you were to purchase a personal reading, that's you giving permission to pull on your energy and consult with your spirit team, and have my spirit team consult with your spirit team and have us get together so we can figure out what's going on with your question. Right. But there's a level of permission. And I kind of feel like if you guys are good, with good intentions, with genuine love, wanting to help someone, and they don't want your help, you gotta let motherfuckers be where they are. Right. And if you are saying no to someone or setting a boundary with someone and they don't want to accept that, or you have made it clear that you don't need their help, you don't want their help, you need to figure something out on their own, and you don't want to make them feel bad, but you just have to do this, and they feel like you're being wishy-washy, then that's on them to understand, like, hey, you can't force Cancer to do anything that you want them to do just because you want them to do it. It goes both ways. And then both parties, you and whoever else, needs to understand that once you set that boundary and once you say it is what it is, you can't expect for people to come back and keep kissing your ass either. Right? So if you're in a situation where somebody was like, I don't want your help, Cancer, and you're like, cool, all right, hands off. They can't expect you to keep asking. They can't expect you to keep coming back and checking on you because you said you didn't want my help. It's like that. And it's just kind of weird. King of Swords, Knight of Wands. So somebody is communicating very aggressively with you or saying something that may be true, but that may be something that you didn't expect them to say, or that could be very harsh and cold. Okay. Somebody's telling the truth, but it feels like, I don't know. It feels like there's undertones of something else going on, right? It's like you may not want someone's help because they may offer all the time to help you, but it's really empty. You get what I'm saying with the Five of Pentacles? It's like somebody may be the type of person to say, well, if you ever need anything, I'm here for you. And then as soon as you need something, they don't know if they could do it, or they oh, well, I'm going through a lot too. Or, they may help you, but then they hold it against you and hold it over your head and hold grudges and then talk shit about you behind your back. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I don't want your help because I know that when you say you're going to help me, it comes with all that extra bullshit. Wow. Okay. What's the Five of Pentacles? Yeah, the Emperor. Aries, Taurus, could possibly be Gemini, stuttering. It could possibly be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius too with that King of Swords. Aries strongly though. Somebody I feel like wants to be in control of like situations in your life where you have some type of lack. Like somebody may be wanting to play the savior role in your life, or somebody may want to be the puppet master in your life. Okay, the Sun card, Leo, Justice, Libra, Taurus, Aries. Libra, Taurus, Aries, Leo, strong. Libra, Taurus, Aries, Leo, strong. Okay. I feel like somebody is very happy to control the outcome in your life. They're very happy to decide or dictate what's going to work out for you and what's not going to work out for you. It feels like this could also be a situation where there's some type of information that's being hidden about like a legal situation. Some of you could be enlightened to some type of legal information that's been hidden or controlled. Some of you guys, there may be a decision being made about a court case or something legal happening in your life that you haven't found out about yet. And you could get some news that is a little bit, I don't want to say negative or devastating, but it's like you could get some news that's challenging and it kind of kicks you into high gear. It puts the fire up under your ass to take action in a situation that you need to pay more attention to, right? And sometimes we see those situations as punishments, but in reality, they're here to help us. They're here to protect us so that we don't fumble the bag even more than maybe we've already done, right? So I feel like there is several different dynamics here where you have a person who's very controlling and they find joy in like trying to dictate or control your life, especially financially or materialistically. Possibly this could be a manager or a boss at your job, but they find some type of joy or happiness when it comes to controlling your life, possibly controlling you through a divorce, through court, through children, through legal situations or through contracts that you have with them. And they do things that are reckless, or they do things or say things that are very like talking out the side of their neck, which means they're being very reckless and aggressive with their communication. in order to keep you in a position where you feel insecure. And that's what Spirit wants you to know, so that you can set a boundary, even if you feel like you're being selfish, and realize that no, it's not selfish. It's actually in your highest good. And it's what Spirit has instructed you to do. Right? This could also be just, again, you understanding and noticing the improvements that you need to make by Spirit shining a light on something that you may not have been aware of before. And they could go hand in hand. Okay. What's the advice though? Ooh, Queen of Cups. So this is really good. I feel like you guys are on the road to being very emotionally grounded, very emotionally stable, very much so an individual who has a high level of self-esteem, emotional awareness, just, not allowing situations or people to get to you in a way that takes you into a place of imbalance, right? If you've been feeling emotionally stunted, or you've been feeling as if you've been dealing with something that you've dealt with for a long time and it's just been dragging out, I feel like you guys are going to start feeling very zen when it comes to your heart space. Okay. Some of you guys are being asked to lean on your feminine energy more. Okay. Or to envision yourself getting to this place, because I feel like a lot of you have a lot to give. You should be valuing yourself in a way that exemplifies what you have to give, because it's a lot, and Spirit wants you to know that you have a lot to give, and that if anyone's trying to make you feel less than, or if anyone's trying to target your emotions or your heart chakra specifically, that you have control over how you react and respond, and whether or not they can get you to that place, right? Because the Five of Swords and the Five of Pentacles is here. So there's definitely a conflict going on. There's definitely some type of inner conflict or an outer conflict that's creating an inner conflict, or vice versa, that I feel like could be taking a toll on you emotionally, right? And this could even be somebody who's trying to remind you of your faults, remind you of your shortcomings, remind you of things that you do wrong and degrade you, right? But Spirit is saying like, hey, the past is the past. It is what it is. You can't cry over spilled milk. You got to move forward. This is that time. So if somebody doesn't want to allow you to move forward, or they think they have control over you moving forward, go ahead and show them exactly where they got you fucked up with the way that you carry yourself, with the reaction or lack of reaction that you show, with the action that you choose to take. That's what Spirit is trying to get you to see this month. And that's what could be coming to the light when you take this time to reflect. Okay, at the bottom, we have the King of Pentacles. Interesting. And the Three of Pentacles. So Capricorn energy, possibly Virgo or Taurus. But there's definitely a masculine here who you may be able to work with in some way. But you also, I feel, need to understand the value of your work, the value of your effort, the value of what you have to offer when it comes to your resources, your emotions, and the feelings that you give, the love that you have. Okay, genuine love could definitely be a resource that Spirit wants you to highlight here. And that actually is a hot commodity. All right. Because I feel like there's somebody who is very stingy, to be honest with you. They're stingy with recognition. So it's like, if this is a boss at work, they never want to tell you when you do a good job, but they always want to tell you when you're doing something wrong. Okay. This could be your father, uncle, brother, doesn't matter. Ace of Swords, but this is an Ace of Swords that's different because it's hidden in a shipwreck. It's like buried treasure. Okay. I feel like there is a contract or something in a contract that you may not be aware of. There could be some law that could help you fight against someone who you're suffering in silence with. There could be a change to the legal system, or it's like there's some type of information that you don't know, or something that's purposefully being hidden from you, or something that you've overlooked that Spirit is trying to get you to see. Okay, this is a truth that's hidden. This could just be understanding the value of your heart, understanding the value of your love, understanding the value of your emotions. And it's in every situation, right? Your emotions could be valuable in a situation where you're in danger, and you may need to understand how you feel and really pay attention to how you feel to identify if you're in danger, right? And that may be something you never really thought about. Okay. But we have the Knight of Cups here. And the 8 of Cups. Interesting. Pisces energy, you Cancer, Scorpio. Interesting. Where is it you really want to go? What is it you really want to do? You're walking away from someone and you're doing it kind of covertly. Possibly in the night. All right. I feel like something is not going to work out. You've tried and tried and tried. You've tried to love somebody. You've tried to give somebody everything you got. And I just feel like they show up when they want to, and when they don't, they don't. And I feel like this is just something that you got to understand. Like, you're not going to get what you want in this situation. And I feel like you're starting to finally evaluate that and make a decision to do what it is that you want to do, because it's like, what you're going to get with somebody. If somebody's constantly abusive, if a person is constantly controlling, or if they're constantly like pointing out your flaws and, wanting to highlight your losses and, not your wins and all these other things, people have the ability to change, because I feel like we all evolve over time, but some people just don't want to change. And there's nothing that you're going to do to be able to cause that change to happen. It's a personal choice that each person has to make. So again, I feel like you guys are connecting the dots in situations where people you've offered your help to, or people you've offered your love to, or people you've offered your services to, that don't want to value you in those areas. It's like you're connecting the dots of where you need to kind of, step back. What else does Cancer need to know? Wow. Friends that could be flipping around into not being friends. Ex-friends, comrades. This could be involving your friend circle. Okay. And then, look at this ugly. Listen, somebody had the buccal fat removed from their face. Anyway, devilish person, someone has intentions that are not in your best interest. 5 of Swords. Be watchful of who you're around. So there's a fake friend in your midst. Flat tire. There could be unexpected delays coming towards you. So if there's literally a flat tire you get like on the way to a place to meet someone, maybe a sign that they might not be, actually on your team. There could be a symbolic flat tire that you feel where like it associates with the ruin card, and you're like, I might need to evaluate whether or not it's in my best interest to be your friend or to be your lover, or to... I heard sometime want to be your lover, sometime want to be your friend, sometime want to hug you, hold hands, slow dance while the record spin. What? Because you make me feel so comfortable. What's that song from? Is that Tell Me Again? Tell me again. Yep. We be lovers and friends. Oh, it's a good look, baby. Oh, yeah. No, it's not a good look. Somebody might want to be friends with benefits or something. Or it's like weird between you and someone because you're not sure if they're your friend. You're not sure if they're your lover. You're not sure what they want. It could just, it could just be you wondering whether or not your friend actually has your back. Okay, we have the 9 of Pentacles reversed, the Sun reversed, and the 8 of Pentacles reversed. Virgo energy, Pisces energy, Leo energy, Aquarius energy. This could be codependency. This could be a lack of clarity. This could be some type of like sickness, illness, depression with the Sun reversed. Again, I'm not a doctor, lawyer, or psychologist. Disclaimer below. Queen of Wands, Ace of Wands. Somebody is making decisions that affect both of you and that actually go against your highest good. It's like somebody is very confident and motivated to move forward. And I feel like there's somebody here who's upset about it because they are codependent and they don't want another person to know their value, because that means that they will be aware and happy on their own. And that person will have to face the fact that they're not necessary. I don't know, you guys. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's get some advice, because I could be in here forever telling you about this situation. I feel like the Scorpio and the Cancer reading go hand in hand. So a lot of you guys, I just want to make sure I reiterate cross-watching and the dangers and risks of it, because you got to be smart, okay? You can't be out here being stupid and listening to people who don't have your best interests, okay? You got to make the decision that's best for yourself, and you and Scorpio could be dealing with similar people, similar energies, right? And each reading may be highlighting a different aspect or perspective so that you can have a greater understanding and move forward with more clarity, okay? A lot of you guys are looking real good, okay? You're attracting new things into your life that kind of deem the old aspects of your life obsolete. And there's somebody here who doesn't have your best interest at heart that kind of feels like they want to block you. It could be your mama. It could be your daddy. But you got to understand and recognize it so that you can avoid it. What's the advice for Cancer spirit? Okay, prosperity. Prosperity comes from hard work and a love for life. Wow. Did I miss a card? I don't think so. I feel like I'm missing something. So there's something missing out of that. So the reason why there's not prosperity is because there's either a lack of hard work or a lack of love for life or for self, right? So if you haven't been prosperous in a relationship, or you haven't been prosperous or feeling prosperous in a friendship or in your finances, it's because there's something from that missing. Either the love or zest for what you do is missing, and you may not actually love what it is that you do. And spirit could be trying to point you in the right direction to find what you love to do, where your hard work is actually going to be appreciated and reciprocated. Or there's a lack of hard work. Okay. And you do love what you do, and you're probably good at it, but you're not, operating at your full potential. Okay. And that could be the same for relationships, right? So if you have worked hard on a relationship, whether it be personal, professional, or romantic, and it hasn't worked out, doesn't mean that, you don't love this person or that you haven't worked hard. It doesn't really reflect on you in all situations. It could be that the other person hasn't been working as hard, or there hasn't been an equal amount of effort. Or maybe they don't have the same level of love or understanding of love for you, for themselves, or, for relationships in general, or vice versa. Okay. At the bottom, we have transformation. Okay. Which is the soul's evolution. So because your soul is evolving, you're realizing what's lacking. You're realizing what's causing the problem, and you're realizing what you have to do to fix it. Okay. Insight. Insight is the fruit of wisdom. Keep a learning attitude. So that's what spirit wants you to know. The more you look into this, the more you research, the more you try to gain information and go within and search outside of you, because both are beneficial. Okay. But the more you look into these things and try to figure these things out, I feel like the more wisdom, insight, and clarity that you're going to gain in a situation that could be very stressful and confusing this month. Okay. So I hope that helped you guys, Cancer. I appreciate you so very much. Thank you so much for being here. Be sure to like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. Get in the comments. Let me know if it resonated. And also be sure to check out my links if you want a service. If you felt this reading helped you on a major level and you want to go a step further, please consider donating through PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle. It is really helpful. And I love you guys. I appreciate you. And I will see you next time. Enjoy your day. Bye.